What's good, guys? M.V.K here, back again. We are on issue number 5 of Ultimate Wolverine. This is the 5th issue in the newest ongoing for the new Ultimate Universe, Earth 6160. And I like the variant cover, so I thought I'd get this. So remember, he's not called Wolverine in this. He's called the Winter Soldier. So in this issue of the last time we saw, Wolverine was getting, I guess he's in the last issue that I reviewed, Kitty Pryde, the version of Kitty, they met Logan before, and she somehow was giving him back his memories because she phased in. I don't know what kind of power she has to do that, but yeah, so she phases in him and he was getting his powers back. He was getting his memory back. But when the council, the Makers Council, the Eurasian Republic and Directory X found him, they took him down into the barracks of their area, and down there we saw how they were going to fix his mind. We found out that there is a comatose Jean Grey, as well as the brain of Professor Xavier above her. And that's what we found out. And it ended right there. This picks up, I guess, right after that or so. So in this book, we are introduced to the newest Ultimate version of Sabretooth. Victor in this is not what you think. He's completely different than the Victor Creed that we knew. You know, he's not a dick. He's not an asshole. In this, he's a bartender, but you could tell he's got his mutation. You could tell he's got fangs. He's got his claws. But he is also a protector of mutants or so, because mutants are still being chased down in this world. And in this world, he is taking care of two young mutants. We don't know their names, but I instantly figured out maybe one of them was, and I'll say it, Leech. I was like, that's got to be Leech, because he had green skin and yellow eyes. I'm like, that's got to be Leech. And then all of a sudden, while he's feeding them and telling them that it'll be okay, once I'll get you somewhere safe and everything like that, here he starts to sense something, and he tells him, go back downstairs. He closes the door, he locks the door, and then of course Sabretooth, he start catching a scent. He's like, he's smelling a scent, and so he ducks. He kind of ducks and covers, and then he looks up and he's like, you. And then who does he see? Logan. Now, he says, Logan, back from the dead, huh? And he says, basically he says, your smell is off. Something's changed about you. Like, he's basically saying your scent don't smell the same. Something is wrong with you. And that's when, he's like, maybe you are really dead. And that's when they just start going at it. And there's even a scene where Logan just I can't even show it, just slices off Sabretooth's arm, like slices it right off, like he just, and then Sabretooth, you could see it actually starting to grow back. I'm like, wait, so we see Sabretooth, I'll show that part of it. I mean, you can kind of see it right here. His arm is growing back. And they just start going at it. And finally, by the time Sabretooth's arm is fully grown back, and they're just going at it. And then we see in the past that Sabretooth and Wolverine, they were comrades and friends in, I guess, the opposition, and they're drinking, and they're just talking. And then Logan says, if I get captured, and Sabretooth is like, you're not gonna get captured, just stop. And he says, but if I get captured, no, he's like, listen, seriously, if I get captured, kill me. And basically, Sabretooth Victor says, that's a tall order. And Wolverine says again, promise me, like, and you just see them do the, the Predator, and they're like, I promise it. So it's kind of crazy to see that, and you just see these two are just throwing, like, going at it. You got Wolverine stabbing Victor in the kidneys. Every time I'm seeing a stab or a breaking of the bones, like, or anything, and you're just like, and I'm just like, ooh, oh, like, you just feel it. You feel everything. And it's even to one point where basically Sabretooth is able to rip the mask off of Wolverine, and Logan does something to Wolverine that just literally made me go, I almost threw up, because I was actually eating something when I first read this, and I was like, let me put this sandwich down, because basically we see here Logan got his mask off, and look at what this fool does. He goes for the jugular and rips out Sabretooth's jugular, and he spits it on the ground. Spits it. I'm like, and that's when it looks like Sabretooth might be the end, and then that's when Black Widow comes, and she is able to trank and knock Logan out. And it's even here, and it showed, Sabretooth say thanks for the help, and then he even says this. He's like, wait, his healing factor's not kicking in. Like, he's not kicking in, and then that's when Little Leech comes at. He's like, that Leech, I'm doing that, like, keeping his. And so there, Sabretooth takes Leech and the kids along with Natasha, and they take him to wherever back to the opposition or whoever. This was just pure carnage and violence that you would expect from a Wolverine Sabretooth fight, but a different Wolverine and Sabretooth fight, because here in this, Sabretooth is not the bad guy. He's really not the bad guy in this. He's a part of the opposition. He's on the side of against Directory X and all of them, and the Eurasian Republic just capturing mutants. He's with them. It's interesting that Natasha's here, Black Widow, but she's not she's not on the side of the Eurasian Republic. But this was fun. This was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this was bloody. If you haven't read this and you're eating something, don't read this. I'm not even joking. Don't read this, because I thought my stomach was enough, but then I'm eating and I'm like, my stomach feels funny now, and I almost threw up, because seeing Wolverine literally bite this dude's neck, and then rip his jugular out and spit it out. I'm like, oh, come on. Like, every punch, there was times you just seen Wolverine stabbing, like, literally stabbing Sabretooth in the kidneys over and over. And then at one point he sheaves his claws and then breaks his ribs. And I'm like, and you're just like, thank God they got a healing factor, because it's just like, but it could only do so much. But what I love about it is that just because you got a healing factor don't mean you don't feel pain. And that's something that I think people have the misfortune of thinking, that because Wolverine and Sabretooth and all of them have a healing factor, they don't feel pain. They feel that all the time. So yeah, you're gonna feel that. Like, if someone cuts your fucking arm off, but you can grow it back. But again, here it kind of is interesting because they really are pushing, I guess, pushing the healing factor, because I don't remember Wolverine being able to grow his limbs back if they got cut off, because if that's the case, Age of Apocalypse Wolverine should have grew his hand back when it got blown off. He still has one hand. So that's why they really have to explain the healing factor capabilities in this universe, because Sabretooth had his whole arm lobbed off, and then you just saw it, muscle and tissue growing back till finally his hand was growing back. I'm like, whoa, okay, they're pushing it again. They're pushing their healing factor to a godlike level, which I always have kind of some issues with. But outside of that, it was good. Ultimate Wolverine is gradually getting to the point where you're like, okay, when will it? Basically, it's coming down to, when will he get his memory back? That's what you want. That's what is being built up. Because outside of that, we've seen Logan in this universe kill some very popular characters. He killed Mystique. He killed Nightcrawler. We've seen comatose Jean Grey. We've seen Professor Xavier in this world is dead. So we've seen a couple of people, very popular mutants, dead. Colossus, his sister, all of them. They're bad. They're on the side with the Maker. So it's like, oh my God, like, you hate to see that. Like, I don't like seeing Colossus as a villain, but he is. He's with them. Him and Omega. Almost all the Russian mutants are bad. Stereotyping, I see, but yeah, come on. I hate that. Issue number 6 just came out. I will get to that soon. And I've seen the preview for issue number 7, where we're going to be introduced to the ultimate version of Archangel. Okay. But outside of that, I've enjoyed it. I had fun. This was what most people probably was looking for, maybe when we see Sabretooth, and we did. And I like this version of Victor. I really do. He's cool. He cares. He's not an asshole. He's everything you would think when you see like Wolverine, and you think, oh, they're like a big brother like type. So yeah, I like that. Well, you guys take care. I'll see you guys next time with some more. Yes, guys, don't worry. I will review. I am gonna review some DC books and independent books. I will. I promise. Those are coming. And I'm still catching up on a lot of books. So most of my reviews are gonna be reviews that. Series that I'm up to date with, and some series that, and when you see bulk reviews, those are reviews that I'm not up to date with. Like a lot of my absolute books, I'm kind of behind on. So almost all the absolute titles I'm behind on, but you will see some DC reviews and indie reviews very soon. I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.